What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Uh, Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on the this situation with the Dallas Mavericks. And they traded Luca, as you all know, and so Luca comes back now. Before I get into like what Luca did to the Dallas Mavericks when he went back, right? I said that this guy, what's his name? Nico Harris. Is it Nico Harris' son? Nico Harrison. He's a general manager for the Dallas Mavericks, right? And I said from the very beginning that Nico Harrison was going to wind up being a fall guy for trading Luka Doncic to the Lakers. And there's a lot that went into the decision of trading Luka Doncic to the Lakers, right? And it's different rumors going around about the owner of the team is trying to move the team to another city, and they need the team to not be in contention, so they would that would fall out of favor with the fans, and then it would be easier to move the team out of there. So that was kind of some of the narrative that was going around, right? Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But let's just say it might be true, it may not be true. Then there was another narrative that went around that Luca didn't take care of himself. He didn't really care about his health or anything. So they foresee Luca just having like like problems staying on the court because Luca refused to take care of himself. That could be another that could be another reason why they let Luca go, right? But my thing is, either way, no matter why you let Luca go, for whatever reason you let Luca go, that guy Nico Harrison was going to be the fall guy because just like I predicted, and it was only one game. Luca came back, and then what he scored? He scored like 45 points on the Dallas Mavericks for the Lakers, and they just destroyed him. And here you have what's the Anthony Davis, you know, just playing. He looked like a shell of himself. He don't even really look like, he just looked, like a shell of himself. But Luca came back and gave him 45. So I said that this Nico Harrison was going to be the fall guy, and the fans at the game was like, fire Nico, and stuff like that. And this obviously, in my opinion, and I just would like, if I was Nico Harrison, no way I would have traded Luca, because he knew that was going to fall back on him. So I thought that it wasn't his decision to get rid of Luca. Either way, whether Luca, like I said, Luca was having alcohol, like people saying like he liked alcohol, or people were saying that he didn't take care of himself. He refused to play defense, or even if you wanted to move the team out of there. I, you know, Either way, whatever the reason was, Nico was going to have to be that fall guy, and Nico knew that. That's why I thought that it wasn't his decision. That decision was made by people over top of him, because Nico knows that, even if Luca stay there, and say Luca he missed a lot of games like Joel Embiid do in Philly, he would have just let that situation play out. Because if you let that situation play out, then that blame don't fall on Nico. So so if Luca can't stay on the court, then that's Luca's fault. Luca's not taking care of himself. Um, you know, if the team wants to move to if the team wants to move, right, to another city, and you got rid of this guy, you got rid of Luca so you could sabotage the team. again, that really puts Nico behind the eight ball because a losing team, the general manager, as a losing team, you can't keep your job when you do that. Not only can you not keep your job, it'll be hard for you to get another job because owner is going to be like, well, you got rid of a franchise ball player, so they're going to question your judgment. So that's why I was like, this, for Nico to get rid of Luka, it just didn't make no sense. No matter what reason you give for getting rid of Luka, it didn't make any sense. Either way, if I was a general manager, I would have let it play out. Definitely let it play out, and then if the team's not winning, you take some of the brunt. But Luka is a star, so he's gonna take some of the brunt. Um, I just would have let it play out, and I gotta believe, right? I gotta believe that a man like Nico Harrison, a general manager, basketball, you've been in basketball for years, goodness well that if you get rid of a franchise ball player, and it don't go well for you, um, you could possibly find yourself out of the league. And that's why I said that decision to get rid of Luka was not Nico Harrison's decision because um, this might be his last job. This may be his last job when the fans are calling for you to get fired. Luka came back to the arena. They gave him this big ceremony, and they all, they made a video of him and a tribute to him and stuff like that. Not a good look for Nico. Not a good look for Nico. That's why, like I said, that's why you have Joel Embiid. He been in Philly, and Joel Embiid, they say he's missed almost half of his games, in the last few years. So he's played like he'll play a game, miss a game, play a game, miss a game. It's almost like that with Joel Embiid. But they didn't trade him. They didn't trade him because that falls on the general manager. If you had to trade Joel Embiid and the other team have any type of success, then that looks bad for the general manager. That's why nobody does what just happened to Luka. Nobody. You just don't do that. Same thing with like Ja Morant. Like Ja Morant, they said Ja Morant has missed 122 games over the last couple seasons. He's missed 122 games. I think even probably at least over the last 3 seasons or something like that. 122, and he's played 124. So that's almost 50% of the games he's missed, right? But he missed them due to injury and suspension. So they didn't get rid of Ja Morant. That general manager over there didn't get rid of Ja Morant because what they did to Luka in Dallas was unheard of. Nobody does that. You as a general manager, you let that situation play out. You hold on to your franchise ball player. You always try to put pieces around them that is gonna, to help them to get y'all to the next level. But you don't trade a dude that's 25 years old and then think that it's not going to blow up, and not just think, but know that that's not going to blow up in your face. So that's why I said this Harrison guy is the fall guy. I don't know how you like if an owner is telling you to get rid of a franchise ball player and do something unprecedented like that. I don't know how you get around a situation like that, to be honest. Because it's their team. And basically what the owner is asking you to do is to throw yourself on the sword. That's what he's asking you to do. Be like, okay, let's get rid of Luka. Luka just had us in the championship last year, but let's get rid of Luka because we want to, we want to move the team. Or let's get rid of Luka because because Luka don't take care of himself and we think he's gonna miss a lot of games. Either way, you the general manager, you get rid of a franchise ball player, you are on your way out right behind them. And so when I saw, or when I heard those fans chanting "Fire Nico," I was like, yeah, it's starting. It's starting already. So I won't be surprised that if like really soon they get rid of this Nico guy. Only thing I think could really save Nico is if the Dallas Mavericks by some stroke of luck like was able to draft somebody that was, and how you don't draft a Luka every year, so I don't know how he gonna get out of this situation and save not just his job but save his career. His career is really at risk because these people wanted him to throw himself on the sword. Because I'll never be able to believe that it was a general manager's decision to get rid of a franchise ball player. Like even if he was thinking about doing that, he would have to go to the owners, and most of the time the owners were like, "No, this guy sells seats, even on a losing team." People, he had a fan base, although his team wasn't losing. But even if you go to any of these franchises with losing teams, their best ball players, like have a connection to that team and to that city. So yeah, man, I just think that this guy was the fall guy, and that was it. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I will check you all out in the next episode. Peace.